Welcome to the Dr. Jim Cares podcast with Dr. James Augustine, where we provide powerful solutions for helping you create wellness. The following discussion is for educational purposes only and is not meant to diagnose or treat disease. Because our approach is individualized, it's important to not apply this information without first consulting with your healthcare professional. And now, here's Dr. Jim.
Are you tired of feeling tired? Do you feel like you're dragging yourself throughout the day? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Or are you gaining weight, even though you've been eating healthy and you've been exercising? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with low energy caused by insomnia and weight gain. That's our topic today, but there is hope. So our podcast today, we're going to be talking about the underlying causes of these problems and, of course, how to fix them. So insomnia and weight gain are two common problems that have a significant impact on your energy levels. When we don't get enough sleep, our bodies produce more of that stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol can lead to weight gain. It's a fat-storing hormone. And even if you're eating a healthy diet and exercising regularly, it's going to be a problem. In addition, insomnia can make it difficult to focus and make decisions, which can lead to fatigue and decreased productivity. I'm sure you've experienced that. Weight gain can also lead to low energy as it makes us feel more tired and, of course, sluggish. So let's talk about the reasons, first off, for insomnia. Number one, let's talk about stress. Stress can disrupt our sleep-wake cycle and make it more difficult to fall asleep and even stay asleep. Why is that? Is because stress is producing higher levels of cortisol, that fat-storing hormone, which is the other part of this, right? It's the weight gain side of it. But it's that awakening hormone that tends to stimulate your brain and it keeps you awake. So the circadian rhythm or the cycle of your cortisol levels throughout the day, first thing in the morning when you wake up, your cortisol level starts to rise and you're more refreshed and awake. Then it rises up progressively throughout the day, and then as it approaches 9:30, 10:30 at night, it starts to decrease, and hence it gets dark outside and you start to feel sleepy, tired. So if you could go with that, that would be very helpful. But if you're like me at times, I call it the little kid syndrome, and you want to stay up because nobody else is awake, you can get all kinds of things done, you have no disruptions. And if you don't follow that pattern of dropping cortisol, then it ramps back up, and then you could stay awake till 1 o'clock in the morning. Not good for your overall health, and certainly for energy purposes. So your adrenals start to get whacked, get problematic because of high cortisol, and it's affecting your ability to sleep. So stress can cause that, and when you stress and worry, that raises your cortisol, and you'd be awake at night, tossing and turning, thinking about the problems in your head. It could be family, it could be job stress, it could be money stress. There's all kinds of reasons for stress. So it really can disrupt your sleep. Hormone imbalances such as menopause, premenopause, or perimenopause, thyroid problems also can lead to insomnia. Also, low testosterone. Low testosterone can lead to insomnia because it helps to regulate the production. It's kind of a complex, they're not really understanding it yet too well, complex situation with your hormones, but testosterone imbalance can cause cortisol imbalance, as well as melatonin. Melatonin is a sleep regulator hormone that is produced by the pineal gland in your brain, and it's not a good thing to take as a supplement, really, for sleep, because you'll take it for a short period of time, you can get rebound insomnia. You want your body to produce it, but imbalances in melatonin because of stress can certainly disrupt your sleep cycle. So we don't want that. Not a good thing. What about nutrient deficiencies? Let's talk about those for a minute. Nutrient deficiencies are these are some other causes. Magnesium and vitamin D deficiencies can contribute to insomnia. Very simple. Lack of magnesium, it tends to be a very important supplement, not only for sleeping and relaxing you, but also it's excellent for cardiovascular function for your heart. So stick with really good levels of insomnia, and as we're heading towards cold and flu season, you want to remember to be taking your vitamin D. And ideally, when you get your blood work measurement of vitamin D, the range is 30 to 100. The right position for your vitamin D level should be above 70. So if you can get it up to 70 or higher, you're in good shape with vitamin D. And therefore, you can go through cold and flu season without a hitch. Plus, you want to make sure your zinc levels are good too. Just a little side note there. So those are some of the reasons. Here's another reason. Medical conditions can also contribute to insomnia, such as sleep apnea, which kind of makes sense, restless leg syndrome, chronic pain can do that. All of these can contribute to insomnia. Now, what about weight gain? Let's talk about weight gain for a minute as far as causes. Now, diet, of course, number one is pretty significant. What you're eating, how much you're eating, and when you eat all can influence weight gain. So just from the dietary perspective, the problematic foods and what you're eating typically is a high processed food diet, sugar, starch, sugary drinks, unhealthy fats. These can all contribute to weight gain. Eating too late also can contribute to it, because what's happening is you're not burning those excess calories when you're sleeping. You're not doing too good of a job if you eat before bed. So classically, it's the best thing to do is you've heard of intermittent fasting, but that's called timed eating. Ideally, it's only eating between a set time in the middle part of the day, and you go from towards the end of your day, say 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, all the way till the next day, and you wouldn't eat any food, but at, say, the next day about 12 or 1 o'clock, you can start eating again. That's ideally the best thing to do to keep body fat down. Now, some more considerations would be, as we just talked about it, stress. Stress is a problem. Stress produces a fat-storing hormone called cortisol, and it is really ridiculously difficult to lose body fat. You don't want to lose weight, you want to lose body fat. You want to maintain lean muscle mass, and stress can prevent you from doing that. Now, if you have belly fat, classically that is blood sugar instability, and hence prediabetes, insulin resistance, or full-blown diabetes. Classically, it produces basically belly fat. So stress is a big deal. So therefore, you want to really take a good look at your stress and do some things to start to change that whole aspect of your stress level. You can't quit your job, you can't fire your family, but you can do something internally, taking some targeted nutrients and or herbs to strengthen your stress glands to help you deal with stress better, to lower your cortisol. Hormonal imbalances also contribute to, it seems like we're talking about the same thing, but can contribute to weight gain. Hormone imbalances such as menopause, perimenopause, thyroid problems, right, can all slow down your metabolism. So those are problems. What about that whole issue with thyroid? Thyroid is your center of your metabolism. It affects every cell in your body. And when your thyroid is low, and unfortunately, ladies, you're about 6 times more likely to have thyroid issues. And if you do, over 90% of the time, it's going to actually end up being Hashimoto's, which is autoimmune thyroid. We don't want those things. We want to fix and solve those things. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, maybe you've heard of that. That's a thing that is caused by multiple cysts on your ovaries, ladies. Major component of it is insulin resistance, prediabetes. It's blood sugar challenges. Sort of like we talked about before with diet, you've got to make sure you really look at these foundations and start to work on them. Cushing syndrome, which again is a cortisol issue where literally your adrenal glands are having some major problems. That's another medical condition that can affect certainly your ability to gain weight and not lose weight. So let's go to section 4 and how do we are going to improve these problems? People that are struggling with insomnia and weight gain, listen up, because this is the important part. So number one, identify the underlying cause of the issue. That's really critical. It's like the first step and thing that you need to do. Now, some examples of root cause testing that you'll need to do, and these are some great ones. These are the things that we do. We want to do a Dutch hormone test. Dutch hormone test. And this is looking at your adrenal stress hormones. It looks at your female and male hormones. It looks at how you're metabolizing these hormones. It's a phenomenal test. And Dutch stands for dried urine testing for hormones, Dutch. Secondly, to look at your stress level, heart rate variability can tell you a lot. Now, heart rate variability is an EKG-based test. It's not invasive. It does look at heart function, but most importantly, it looks at your autonomic nervous system. That's that automatic side of your brain that runs and regulates everything. There's two parts to your autonomic nervous system. There is the fight or flight side, the sympathetic or stress side of your nervous system. So if that's up, you will have a problem burning body fat. You will also you'll be producing too much cortisol, you will have problems sleeping. So you see how these types of problems sort of dovetail together. So heart rate variability, it's going to make your HRV score lower when your sympathetic nervous system is too high. So not good. Great test, phenomenal test. I've been using it for 27 years. It's a phenomenal test to do. Now, what about blood work? Blood work on the side of looking at your thyroid function and thyroid hormones. We do in our office 10 markers for thyroid. We like to look at everything. We like to actually measure the antibodies that could develop against your thyroid. And if you have high levels of antibodies and your thyroid is too low, that's going to mean that you have Hashimoto's, autoimmune thyroid. And doctors, classically, they won't test for it. You have to really push them to test for it. We test for these all the time because we want to find root causes. So if you have Hashimoto's, if it's an autoimmune thyroid problem, it's no longer a thyroid problem, it's an immune problem as the root cause. Fixing that solves the thyroid function problem. The other side of thyroid can be hyperthyroid, but you will not have weight gain problems that you can't lose weight. You'll have problems actually gaining weight. You'll be too slender and too thin, and you'll definitely have problems sleeping if your thyroid's too high. Classically is called Graves' disease, and also can be autoimmune. So blood work for thyroid. And then lastly, really simply, I like to do a diet diary. I like to look and see what you're eating. If I can highlight anything in there and we can progressively over time start to change things, having all these other foundational issues in place, then things will change. When we review a person's diary, food diary, it's not offensive. I do not yell and scream, like your parents once upon a time did. What? Are you serious? No, it's not about doing that. It's just highlighting some things because I want to be on your side with this when I work with you. I want to actually be partners with you to say, hey, yeah, if you start to change these things, I think that's going to really dramatically help you. So that's how we approach the diet diary side of things. Now, on the side of which foods to eat and all that, we talked about some problematic foods classically: starch, sugar, and bad fats. Seed oils, some of the other bad fats would be vegetable oil, hydrogenated oils. Maybe you've heard that, and you find a whole bunch of hydrogenated oils and bad oils in processed foods. So we want to try to get away from processed foods and move to a more fresh food diet. Great things to do there. So make lifestyle changes. Some simple ones, of course, it would be changing your diet, like we just talked about. Exercise. A lack of exercise means you're not going to be burning those calories to therefore get rid of some body fat. Exercise regularly, and we'll get into more of what that is in future videos, but exercise, one critical thing is going to be weight lifting. You need some resistance training. You could even start off by doing calisthenics, meaning pushing your own weight. You could be doing squats with your own body weight very precisely, and push-ups and things of that sort to start the weight training. Because the more you start to train and strengthen your muscles, it will inherently give you long duration, almost permanent higher metabolism, because muscle is really highly metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you can put on your body, the longer you're going to keep body fat off of your body. Good thing. Also, exercise would be, fat burning exercise would be low intensity cardio, such as walking. I highly recommend people get an Apple Watch or some sort of metrics, a watch that you can actually measure your heart rate, and it'll help to prompt you and promote you and encourage you to keep things moving. So great things to do there. Managing your stress, good luck with that one. That one's a tough one because you can't, like I said, you can't fire your family, you can't quit your job. But managing stress, there might be some things that you can do. First off, recognizing your stress. For those of us that are parents, we know that we could easily, constantly be reminding our children of what they need to do. And that just ramps your stress level up, but you don't see it as stress because you do it so often. So first off, becoming aware of what's stressing you, huge things to do there. Let's talk now about if you need this kind of help, if you need this level of help. You can try out a few of these things. I hope that they help you. My whole intent in doing this video podcast is that it gets the word out on really getting to foundational root causes of problems and working at that level so that things begin to change for you and you don't end up in your medical doctor's office on lots of medications treating symptoms. And ideally, I think most doctors would always want the best for you, because one thing that's for certain, your biochemistry inside your body is actually based all on nutrients. Now, sometimes there's a great place. There's a place for medicine, drugs, and surgery. Usually when your body gets too far beyond, crisis care, another aspect of it, that's incredible. They can save your life. You get hit by a bus, heart attack, stroke, they can definitely save your life, but it's not their job to get your body to heal and resolve these issues. That's not what they do. They treat these symptoms and conditions with medications. I would prefer to work on those same issues at saying, why isn't your body able to heal? And let's work on getting your body healthier. Therefore, you don't have to end up needing medications and surgeries to treat disease. Hopefully all of that helps. So low energy caused by insomnia, weight gain, it's an absolutely frustrating problem. But there are a number of things that you can do to improve, like we talked about. Number one, first and foremost, you need to identify the underlying cause of your problem for insomnia and weight gain so that you can make the appropriate lifestyle changes. Really important, so that ultimately you can get more sleep, manage your weight, and improve your overall health and well-being. Great things. So if you're struggling with energy loss, I encourage you to watch the rest of this mini-series, Energy Loss, Not Good. I'll be sharing more information about the underlying causes of energy loss and ways for you to fix them. I hope you find this video and the podcast information, the audio, helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My email is draugustine@gmail.com, or you can reach out to my office at 562-860-3404. Thank you so much for watching. And up next, the podcast next is going to be on the topics of brain fog, depression, and pain. So stay tuned. These are going to be really good. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Oh, by the way, I'm also on social media. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as Facebook. I'm on Spotify and Apple and Google Podcasts, so you can also subscribe and listen to this content there. My name is Dr. Augustine from Head to Wellness. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on your journey to wellness. Join us next time for more information and education about your health. And feel free to contact Dr. Jim on social media or at his office, Head to Wellness in Buena Park, California.